What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. My last video got a pretty good response, so I thought I'd make another one. I'm gonna model the BMW headlamp for this car. Here's a concept image that was made from it. This is the final model that I made. It came out pretty good. I did it in about an hour and a half. And I'm not gonna show you the whole video, but I'll show you parts that I thought were important. I'm also going to talk about just random alias things like working the theoreticals, and another subject that I want to talk about just working as a 3D artist and what it takes to get into there. Because a lot of people have been asking me recently. This car, by the way, I downloaded online. I'll put the link to where you can get it. The guy that did it did a really good job. I think he did it in 3D Max and in NURBS, and it came out really good. So I deleted the lamps though that he had on there, and I made my own. So here I'm starting off by starting off with curves, right? How you should be starting off with adding lead in, and just trying to use the profile of the car to start what I'm doing, using the car as a reference, because obviously the lights are a part of the car, so we need to make sure that we have the same feeling, the same kind of lines that the car has. And I didn't speed up this video. I wanted to just keep it at normal speed, so it's a little long. The video's a little long, but for you guys that actually like 3D, people that are really into it or really want to learn about it, I think it's gonna be good, right? Me, I always when I first started doing 3D, I would always watch tutorials. That was like one of the main thing. That was like the main way I actually learned 3D. That's one of the things like people think that when they go to school or something like that, they're gonna learn and they're gonna get really good. But at the end of the day, it's really like what you do, how much time you put into it, and basically watching these tutorials is gonna help you, but only you can really make yourself good. You dedicating yourself to your craft and making yourself a master of what you're trying to do. So here I'm trying to make the main primary surface, and I learned recently in the new Alias you can add lead in both ways, or up and down, I guess, in this way, with the skin tool, as you can see here. So when I try to add a fillet on that, I'll be able to get some good lead in. So here I'm trying to add the inboard side of the bezel, using theoretical lines. Adding some crown. Nothing's flat, so we always need to add crown, and preferably lead in. Sometimes in the beginning you don't need to add lead in because you're just trying to get the shapes down, so it's okay. But as you start going deeper into your project, you definitely want to add some lead in. So here I'm just working with the theoreticals. And like I was saying earlier, I didn't speed up the video because I wanted you guys to see how I work. I mostly like to use hotkeys. I have a lot of marking things in my marking menu too. But one tip that I can give you guys, if you're really trying to be good, if you want to be one of the best guys, you need to get a workflow down. It doesn't matter if it's hotkeys or marking menus, but you have to get some kind of workflow down. If you're going to the palette to use the tools that you normally are using, you're just gonna be slow. It's just Plain and simple. You're gonna be slow, and being fast is really important because it's for a lot of reasons. Obviously, you want to get the work done fast, but when you're working on a new design, you're gonna fail a lot of times. A lot of times, what you make is not gonna be good. So, as you can, if you can, like, get out the ideas really quickly, and then show it to whoever you're working with, maybe they'll agree with it. They probably won't the first couple times, but you're going through it quick, right? You're getting ideas out quickly versus spending a whole day working on something and it's just wrong, versus doing like 5 different designs in a day or 6 just because you're really fast, right? So here I'm adding the next part of the bezel. Here I came into a problem because, as you saw right there, I had a break in the surface because I was trying to add an extra surface. I ended up just extending the main primary surface and trimming it out, as you'll see right here. I did that so I didn't have to deal with the break, and I had a clean surface just going all the way up to the top where that theoretical starts, as you can see there with the highlights. And I don't have a break anymore. If I had that break, I would have had to deal with the blend that went in between there. I ended up duplicating all the curves on the bezel, pushing them back, and then offsetting them. First I cut them off so I can get them to a theoretical point. Offset or make sure all the lead-in's good. You know, it's okay. I wasn't gonna stress over it. Just a small project here. Nothing too serious. Then I was gonna offset them because we can never have anything flat. Most our plastic parts are always being injected molded, so there always needs to be some kind of draft angle. Nothing will be flat. Well, I guess depending on the die vector, but so I end up just extending the curves once I offset them, cutting them. Cutting them where they're intersecting. But once I offset them, some of them came off the plane that they were originally on. So I just snapped the pivot to the curve, to the end of the curve. Snap it to the other curve. Snap the pivot to the end of the curve. Snap it. Put the pivot to the end of the curve and snap it. Just keep doing the same thing, basically. And then use the transform curve tool, not the stretch tool. Don't get it confused. That is not the stretch tool for you more advanced alias users. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Transform curve tool. It's called something like that. It's underneath the stretch tool options. It's in that menu. It works a lot better. So here I just started skinning everything, or skinning between the original surfaces that I had and to the curves. Making sure to add a little bit of crown, right? Because we can't have anything flat. And notice everything that I'm doing is to theoreticals. I'm not building anything just to tangent lines. Keeping it simple. Sometimes we overcomplicate things way too much in Alias, or just with 3D modeling in general. It doesn't matter if you're poly modeling in ZBrush, NURBS. Sometimes we're overcomplicating things way too much. Here I'm just keeping it simple and it's working out really good. So I ended up dividing these surfaces so I could easily skin between the main surface and the curve that I had in the back. And guys, if you guys like the video, then like it, subscribe, and write some comments. so I can keep making more. The first video had a really good response, so I thought I'd make another one. So here I was trying to make the transitional surfaces, or the blends, fillets, what you want to call it. I like using the tubular offset sometimes. I was just doing this quick, so I didn't mind just using tubular offset just to get an idea of where I need it to be, and then duplicating the intersection curve and projecting those onto the surface, trimming them out, and then just doing a free-form blend in between, just calling that good. Of course, if I want to really take my time with it, maybe I'd use patch precision, or patch precision is probably the best, or just measuring out how big you want the fillet to be. So again, this was my first shot at it, so I wasn't really stressing over if everything had great lead in or if the blends were the right size. I was just trying to get a nice picture in, and I thought I was doing a good job at it, so I kept going. So I did try it the first time I tried it. I did make the primary surfaces a little too small, so I had to go back and do it. So it might have took a little longer actually than an hour and a half, but this version probably took around that long. And see, as you can see here, like, we're just speeding through. This is what I'm talking about with having a good workflow down. When you get a good workflow down, you can go through things really quickly and just get the ideas out quick. So the rest of the video is pretty much the same thing. So again, if you guys like what you're seeing in the channel, or if you have any suggestions or things you want to see, let me know. And I'd like to keep making more videos as long as there's an audience. So alright, thanks guys.